Could you give me one clap, really loud?
Whoops.
It's on a marker. The slate for the audience.
Hey, my name is Marlon Holden. I'm retired, and I do a lot of fishing and crabbing, and this little farm behind me, I started out about 3 years ago, and I've been doing it for quite a while. Even when I was home before I went in the military and all of those kinds of things that I had to go through. But I was born on the water, and our family gathered every summer, and we always had a big family picnic, and we all go out and dig clams down at Jamestown, where the old village is. And we'd all go out, dig clams, and then for 2 days we'd have clam feed. And and I learned a great deal about our customs and how we treat people, and how the way of our ancestors are the best way. I was born on the water, and my dad is Norwegian and my mom is Indian, and so my chances of not being a fisherman were pretty slight. Yeah, I fished with my father. He taught me how to fish, and I was with him all the time he went out. Actually, there was 3 of us boys, and I was the only one that was really interested in doing the fishing. And so he was Norwegian, and he showed you how to fish once. Tie your gear up. You better listen to what you said, because he wasn't going to do it for you again. And so I learned pretty quickly what's the right way to do things, and I fished with him for many years. We fished for silvers and kings and everything out here on the Straits of Juan de Fuca. Then I went into the military, and when I came back, he was up there when I left and passed away. And so when I came back home after being in the military, I started working in different jobs and around here, and went down, made a career out of corrections down in Shelton. I went in as a officer, correctional officer, and when I retired in '99, I was a superintendent of a facility. Eager to get home and get back into the traditions of our tribe. And so to this date, I've been fishing right out here behind me, this little farm that you see back there. All this is Olympic oyster. It's an Olympic oyster farm. They have other ones, but not down here in the other beaches, but around here it's all Olympic. It was my farm. I built that about 3 years ago, and on the left-hand side over here is the tribe's farm. Now there's 2 ways of doing the oysters. One, where I do, is I put them in bags, and they spin with the tide 4 times a day. And so what that does is, what they do in the oysters on the sand is they're moving all the time, and so that's what rounds them up. And when I retired from the Department of Corrections and moved back, I got involved again with the tribe and started to work in different natural resource areas of the tribe. And then I built this farm out here behind me about 3 years ago. And I was taking a real interest in the oyster and how it produces itself and how it grows and all of those kinds of things with the water that we have these days. And it's been a challenge. And you just have to be careful and watching and checking the inside of the oysters before you sell them. Make sure they haven't got some sort of disease in them. And so it's a kind of a challenge on doing an oyster farm. But the thing that I like about it is that the tribe has always been obviously Indian, and we take care of our natural resources. We take care of the natural resources out even in the Straits of Juan de Fuca when we're out fishing. We don't take the little ones, we throw them back. We don't put fish in under the floorboards and all of those kinds that a lot of people do these days, and just waste that fish. And so we also work with the state in regards to reseeding and all of those kinds of things. Work hand in hand with them and make sure everything is done properly. And we teach our kids coming up the importance of handling the fish and the crab and the clams. They're our natural resources. The thing that I'm just proud of is that I'm doing the same thing that my ancestors did thousands of years ago, and in the same place. So you look at thousands of years ago when that was their main source of food was the sea, the fish and the oysters and the clams, and they ate a lot of other things out of the sea as well.
But when the tide is out, the table's set.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess if I'm looking for anything and hope and everything, is our next generation will have that strong ability, not to put anybody down, but just to go out and do the right things. You know, doing the right things catches on, just as bad as doing something bad. and sometimes people get tired of being a jerk and they want to do something good and they turn around.